I call upon Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters, the Galactic Family of Light, Gaia. I ask for assistance into uplifting this video and use my body-mind complex to provide whatever messages is needed in the moment currently, right now. We always set an intention, but we usually do it before before we press record. So sometimes it is good to see how others are tuning, setting intentions, and operating their body differently from you. There's been a lot of programs set up in your reality that we are calling, some call it karmic loops, we call it distortions of energy, we sometimes call it loops too, hamster wheels. We're using many different names to talk about the same thing, to make sure that the point comes across. Because some beings think, and that might be the issue. So sometimes these things are all of this conditioning, which has to do with the masculine, feminine. Those are sort of all of these good enough and these types of things. And once you correct that, because it's also in sort of like the development of a human body, right? And so when you actually correct the seed, which is now I'm a man, and masculine qualities, which means this and this and this and this and this. Everyone knows what a masculine quality, what a masculine man is. Haven't you heard? Don't you know? You have to be able to blah, 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 blah. And there's a whole list and criteria on what it means to be a man. Equally, there is the feminine. Oh, you're okay, yeah, then you have to this and this and that and this. You have to like this, you have to behave like this, you have to do like this, you have to dress like this, wash your hair, you have to make sure that you're looking good at all costs. And you are getting bombarded with things that are sort of like not really supportive of yourself and your own connection in both cases. And that is sort of like the start. And then all of these fingers sort of branch off again in other thoughts that has to do with that. And has to do with that, and has to do with the other, right? And you can get into analyzing all of these branches out here, and the thoughts, and the this, and what modality, and what this, and that, and the other, and then you can compare to others, but you're still going to be out there in the branches. In order to truly transcend and change, if you go back to the energy and what has been done inside, that is the start seed. When you start to harmonize that, and it's like you have a tree and it splits like this, and this is the masculine feminine type of thing, and then you are equally sort of like splitting your energy. And if you go down to this part here and you start to like, okay, so who am I really? What do I really like? Who am I really? Like, oh, I'm projecting. What about me? Like, what am I? if I'm projecting something, that means that, oh, I have to call that power back, because if I'm projecting, then I'm losing power. So then you get more and more integrated with yourself and your own energy. That's the whole purpose. The purpose is to harmonize these two. Those are two opposing energies. You will experience them as two, not opposing. Could be, if this is what it's the definition of having split energy, that you have multiple things going on inside, right? Yes, we have different aspects, but this is different. This is when you have sort of like two opposing forces, it seems like, and you are there in the middle, can't choose. You are perceiving those two choices. Which one is accurate, right? Usually, always, if you're experiencing this splitting internally, that means that you are not completely in congruency with what your sort of your true self feels, your inner compass, your inner alignment, your truest connection to your higher intelligence. You're not thinking the same way as that natural stream. You're not following that natural stream of energy when you do that. And so that's when we are here, when we start to bypass all of the different programming that allowed for that, then we are starting to, once you're here, basically, you will start to operate like a normal human. We're saying normal human. Many beings won't experience it like this because it will feel extraordinary. You will start to hear voices, maybe feel in the future and see things that's not happening in the past, but it seems like it could be. Like there are many different things that can come online in your human body, because your human body is meant to be very telepathic, be able to know how to maneuver energy. But those two needs to be harmonized for it to be any connection. That's how important this is. For there to be any connection. Otherwise, you will sort of, that's the thing. And usually beings can be aligned in certain areas and sort of like a little bit misaligned in other areas. That's really it. Like there are certain, call it fluff on the line or something, you know, a little rusty. And so the way, and the only way that you can truly change is by doing different action through the body. This is something that many athletes know in form of training. But when it comes to intuition, it's sort of like this gray or this black box for many people. They don't, some people don't even believe that it's possible. You know, that's how far removed they are from their own capabilities in their mind only, not in reality. In reality, everything is operating. They might even be using their intuition, but they just are so conditioned to certain belief structures that they don't fully see it like that. And that's okay. There's no judgment here, but we are looking at different levels of a human body's conscious development, really, because the dualistic perspective is just one level of a human being's development. It's actually a sort of a childlike state. That's what being yelling at someone, that's a childlike state, to be that agitated. I mean, it's been normalized with movies and all of that stuff, but like in reality, lashing out at someone or at yourself for that matter, it doesn't matter if it's someone else outside or you doing it to yourself, it's the same distortion. That's what we have to get. One is just out and the other one is in, but it's the same energy. It's the same twisted perception. One is just seen as less intrusive than the other. One that's blaming is, you can usually feel that either in words or in thought forms that's coming at you. Like, this is how we operate this machinery. And people in the dualistic perspective, they are like loose cannons sometimes, because they haven't learned fully how to take those aspects and sort of mature them in consciousness. Which simply means that instead of yelling at someone, you are more self-reflected and go, okay, what is it with that being that I find so unappealing, or that I feel the need to do this action, let's say. If there was something, like, there are certain things that's just like, why did I just do that? Sometimes you can feel it. Sometimes you can feel if you're doing action based on sort of like the wrong signals, you can feel that, because that's your body guiding you. That wasn't such a good idea. You're losing energy here. It's not giving you like, oh, you have to do this instead. But it's telling you, this didn't feel good. What you're doing now doesn't feel good. It's not the other being. It's never the other being. It's always yourself. This whole dance is always about you. You are the one. You are the only one. This is for one being. One unique being. You're all connected to that one. And when you get there, you are finally connected to the one, the whole, the everything, the all that is. And then your natural expression comes through like a gift to the world. You then become a gift to the world. Unless you're there already, or you're probably on your path, perhaps, and you're figuring it out. That is okay. You're doing great. This journey in consciousness is a fun journey, but sometimes these little thought forms, they can be some sneaky ones sometimes, and then they might come up to remind you, look, you got options, you can go back, everything will be fine. Like, you have all of these temptations to go back to the old, but you go, I know the old. I know the old too well to know that it won't satisfy me. I know that it won't satisfy me because I have tried to make it satisfy me, but it just doesn't work because it never will. That's the gauge that you have. When you have tried and it doesn't work, you know that it's not meant to. If you're trying to fit a round ball into a square hole, that doesn't work. Unless the square hole is really big and the ball is really small. Simple jokes are the best. You are very blessed to be walking this path in this way, in this comfortable way, You have the chance to ascend in frequency, just like an ascended master, just like what we did back then. It's magical times. You don't need to go look for some old scrolls that have been more used as a carrot on a stick for you to chase. Never really finding what is needed for that alignment. That is what we're teaching here. If you're ready to get started, or if you're ready to continue on this journey and work out some small corrections perhaps to have your own intuition come back online, then there are some links in the description below or in the bio. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know where you're at and give it a like, share with a friend, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Ciao.